Good morning. Today we're going to learn Bobikama Daf Lamed Gimel. So we're going to recap a second and going to go on Daf Lamed Beis on base, in the middle of the narrow lines. Ton Rabbonon. Anichnas lechanusoi shel nagar. Someone came into the carpenter shop. Sheloi bereshus without permission, v'nitzo bakas, and a piece of wood flew v'tofcha alponov umeis and killed him. Potter. He's potter. If he killed him, if he came in with permission, chayiv. And then we learned my chayiv. Omar Bezi Baruch Hanina chayiv dalet dvarim. If he didn't kill him and he just caused nezek, he's chayiv dalet dvarim. Upotem golus, but you're not chayiv to pay golus, and we learned before why. So now let's see the Gemara over here. Lamed Gimel Amud Aleph. Rav Zvid Mishmei de Rava. Rav Zvid from the name of Rava Masnin Lo learned this din of Rabbi Yosi Baruch Hanina, the Yichayev B'Dalet Dvarim and Potter from Golus about a different case, not what we learned before. It says Umotzo, it says in the Pasuk, V'asher yavoi Esr Eyu Bayar Lachtoiv Eitzin, someone who goes to cut wood in the forest, V'nitcha Yodo Begarzel Lichros Eitz, and the metal piece of the axe fell off, and he found his friend and he killed him. He goes to Arim. So the Pasuk says Motza, and he found him. So it says, so we're learning over here Masni Lahal on this bright, so Motza, then it says he found him Prat Lemamtis Atzmoy. It's coming to exclude someone who came in afterwards. So let's see what's the case. Mikan Omar Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov. Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov learns from over here. Someone threw, let's say, a rock, and there's no one in the direction of the rock when he threw it. And then the person took out his head from the window, and then the rock hit him. And when the person threw the rock, there was no one out the window. Potter, because in Motzah it means they found him where he was, not that he suddenly put himself over there. So on that, Omar Rabbi Yosi Baruch Hanina, Potter Migolus. That we said he's Potter Migolus, he doesn't go to Golus. The Chaya Bar Bod Borim, but he still have to pay Nezek Tsar Ripui Sheves. So the Gemara says, Man de Masni Laho, the one who said that Rabbi Yosi Baruch Hanina spoke about this case, Kol Shekein Akamaisa, even more so in the case where someone came into the shop and the balabais into the carpenter, and the balabais damaged him. Kol shekenu was there b'chayiv dalet dvarim, because even more he had to be careful because he came in with permission, and even without permission he should have realized someone's in his shop because he was there all the time. Not like over here that he exposed himself in the last minute. Uman de maselo akamaisa. The one who learns it, the Rabbi Yosi Baruch Hanina said it on the brisa over there about the guy going to the carpenter shop. Avalaha, in this case where I threw a rock and then the person put himself on the rock's direction. Potter legamre, you potter also from Dalet Dvarim, because it's much more curved honest, because when I threw the rock there was no one there. Suddenly he came there. I shouldn't have expected that, and therefore I'll be potter. Ton Rabbonon learned Poyalim Shebolit Voschorim Balabais, employees, workers who came to the balabais to say, you owe us money for the work we've done for you. The Nochon Sherish balabais, and the ox of the balabais gored them, or the Noshon Kalvoshel balabais, the dog, the German shepherd of the balabais, gave them a bite to Mesu, and these workers died. Potter. They are potter. He's potter because they came into his reshus. It's my property. They shouldn't have come into my property. Other people say that they're allowed to sue balabais their money, and therefore they're allowed to come into the reshus balabais, and therefore the balabais will be chayiv if the ox gored them or the dog bit them. So question the Gemara, Echidomi, what's the case? If this balabais who owes money to his workers comes into town often, my time in the Acher, what's Pshat in Acher? We say that he's chayav l'chera. They should have waited when he comes to town and then say, you owe us money. Why did he walk into his private property? If he's always at home and he doesn't leave his property, my time at the time what? Because the guy's in his property, so I can't sue him for the money he owes me for my work I've done for him. So the Gemara, we're talking about begavra, type of person, the shchiach, v'lo shchiach, that sometimes he's in town and sometimes he's not in town. He's not very often in town. V'korea bava, they knocked on the door of this balabayis. V'omar lehu im, and they knocked on the door, and the person, the owner of the property, the one who owes money for these workers, said yes. So Maratzov are Acherim hold in oil to mashma. It means when he say yes, it means please come in, and therefore Balabais let them in, and therefore Balabais is chayev if they got damaged or killed. Umasovar and the first, the Tanakama who holds that the Balabais is potter, in means kuma duchtach mashma. Yes means, yeah, wait over there, I'm coming. And therefore they came in, it's their fault, they came in without permission, and therefore I'm not chayev, the Balabais is not chayev for damage I was caused to them. Says the Gemara, Tanya, we have a brisa, Commander Omar, like the shitter, like the person who holds in kuma duchtach mashma, like the one who holds that when I say yes, it means stay at your place, and therefore if they come in, you're potter. The Tanya, we learned in the brisa, a worker who came into the private property of the Balabais to tell him, you owe me money for the work I've done. And he got gored by the ox of the Balabais. Or the dog bit him, potter. He's the Balabais potter. Even though they came in with permission. Frag the Gemara on this brisa, am I potter? Why would you be potter? What do you mean? He let him come in? If you let him come in, he has to take responsibility for the damage he caused. Elolav, it must be the Korea above. They called on the door, they knocked on the door. And he said yes. And yes means stay over there, I'm coming. But they came in. V'shmami, no, we learn from here when it says in, it means kuma duchtach mashma. Wait there, please, I'm coming. It doesn't mean come in. Okay, further Mishnah. Shnei shvorim tamim. Two oxes who are both tam. They know more than they have to pay chetzin ezek. So we have here Reuven and Shimon. And they both have an ox that are not moored. Shechovlu zeh, they cause damage one to each other. So let's say the both oxes, each one's worth £100, and they cause damage to each other. One caused £50 damage, and the other one caused £25 damage. So Shnei Shvarim, two oxes, Tamim, they tam, Shechovlu says there, they cause damage to each other. Mishalmin b'moisa chetzi nezik. They pay in the extra half an ezek. Meaning, what does the b'moisa mean? So let's say in our case, so the one caused damage. Reuven's shor caused Shimon's shor damage of £50, and Shimon's shor caused Reuven's shor £25 of damage. So the 25 that he caused Reuven, we take that off against the 25 that he called Shimon. So we take out of the calculation £25 because they damaged each other that amount. And Bamoisa, what's left, the 25 that's left extra, that Reuven damaged Shimon extra 25, on that he pay Chetzi Nezek. So Reuven has to pay Shimon £12.5, half of 25 is 12.5. What's the din of Shnei Muadim? It's the same case, but the oxes were more than they pay Nezek Shalom. Mishalmin b'moisa, those 25 extra that Reuven was mazik more to Shimon, Nezek Shalom he pays that full 25. And what's the din of Echotam ve'echad muad? Let's say Reuven's was a muad and Shimon was a tam. So muad betam, when the muad caused more damage in the tam, mishalim b'moisa nezek shalom. So Reuven caused damage of 50, Shimon caused damage of 25. Reuven's muad, Shimon's tam. So Reuven has to pay on the extra damage of 25. He has to pay the full amount. Tam b'muad, if it's the opposite, that Shimon's tam caused damage of 50, and Reuven, who's a muad, caused damage of 25. So The din is tam b'muad mishalim b'moisa chetzi nezek, and the extra 25 you only pay 12.5. V'chein shnei anoshim, the same case of two people shechavlu zeh b'zeh, Reuven damaged Shimon and Shimon damaged Reuven. So mishalim b'moisa, we look how much is extra. If we both damaged 150 and 125, so 25 we take out, and then there's 25 left. And in the extra, nezek shalom, he pays him 25. Now another case, Adam b'muad, a person damaged a cow that's a muad. The muad b'adam, and a muad, a cow that's muad, damaged that same person. Again, the Adam did a certain amount of nezek, let's say, we'll see. So Adam b'muad, a person damaged a muad. Muad b'adam, and the muad damaged a person. Mishalim b'moisa nezek shalom. You always pay, and the moisa, what's left over after you calculate where you damaged each other and you take that out of the equation, you pay the extra nezek shalom, the full amount. Adam betam, what happened if Adam was mazik the tam? The tam b'adam, and the tam, a cow that's a tam was mazik the person. Adam betam, if the Adam was mazik, caused damage in the tam more than the tam caused the person, mishalim b'moisa nezek shalom, as the person always pays nezek shalom. So the tam caused damage 25, the person caused damage 50. You take the 25 off, there's only 25 left, and in the moisa, in that extra, you pay nezek shalom 25. Tam ba'adam, if the tam caused more damage to the person and he caused damage 50, and the person only caused to the tam 25, mishalim b'moisa chetzi nezek. You only pay 12.5 because there's 25 extra, and the tam pays only chetzi nezek, so you pay 12.5. Rabbi Akiva Omer, af tam shechoval ba'adam mishalim b'moisa nezek shalom. Rabbi Akiva's choilek, he holds that the whole din of tam that he pays chetzi nezek is talking about when a cow or ox gored another cow, or gored my car, my moment. But if he gored a person, there's no din that he pays chetzi nezek, he pays nezek shalom. And we're going to see it in the Gemara where we learn it from. Tanu Rabbanon, we learned, Bekemishpat, Rabbanon learned, Kemishpat, Azeh Yaseloi. It tells in the Pasuk, Oy ben, Oy bas igach, if the ox gored a person, a boy or girl, Kemishpat Azeh, what we said early on, we shall do to him. And early on, we're talking about a cow who gored another cow, and it says over there, the first case is tam, that he pays half an edek, and the last case, close to what we just said over here, of Kamishpat Hazeh, it says the case of muad. So let's see. Satan Rabbanu, Kamishpat Hazeh, this judgment, Yaseloi, will be the same. So we learn, Kamishpat Shor B'Shor, like an ox who goes another ox, wherever the dinner, wherever the judgment is over there, Kach Mishpat Shor B'Odom. The same judgment you do also when an ox gores a person. Mashor b'shor, like if a ox gores another ox. Tam mishalim chetzi nezek. If he's a tam, he's no muad, he pays half. Umuad, if he's a muad nezek shalom, he pays nezek shalom. Afshor b'adam, the same a cow or ox that gores a person. If he's a tam, mishalim chetzi nezek. Umuad nezek shalom, and if he's muad, he pays nezek shalom. And that's like Tanikama of the Mishnah. Rabbi Akiva, no. Rabbi Akiva is cholik. He says, Kamishpat Hazeh, when we said Kamishpat Hazeh, like this judgment, like this, the din that we said before, we also do over here. What does that mean? Ketachtoin. The last psukim that we were talking about before this, that means we start the psukim about a tam that damages a mominus, another ox, another cow, and we say pays chetzi nezek. Afterward it says amud pays nezek shalom, and then we said the same din applies also when a cow damages a person. So Rabbi Akiva says the same din, it means the ketachto in the last din we just said. What's the last din that we just said? It's amud. So that means when a cow damages a person, he's always amud and he pays nezek shalom. Ketachtoin, the bottom case, v'lo ke'elyoy, not the case of tam. You might say, oh, if a tam damages a person, you say he pays full nezek, so l'chora, if he pays full nezek, he should also pay min aliyah. What does min aliyah mean? That let's say he caused damage of 100 pounds, and he's worth only 50 pounds, this cow, so you have to pay min aliyah from his own pocket, another 50, like a muad needs to pay, because we said it like Kemishpat hazeh, like the last one. The last one is a muad pays from his own pocket. We don't care how much a cow's worth. So Talmud loima, no. We learn from the Pasuk, Yas Eloi, since it says in the Pasuk, Yas Eloi, migufoi, from his own body. That means only what he's worth. If he caused damage 100, and he has to pay 100, but if the cow's only worth 50, you don't pay more than what the cow's worth. And he doesn't have to pay from his own pocket. V'Rabbanon, who don't agree, and they say that Kemishpat means a whole din of tam and muad, the same din as by a cow goring a cow and a cow goring a person. V'Rabbanon hazeh lo moli, why did it say Kemishpat hazeh? This mishpat, Kemishpat hazeh is mashma, that the last one we learned, not the whole parasha, it says hazeh, this specific one. Says the Gemara, what do they learn from hazeh? Lepoitrim arbod dvarim. To say that when a cow gores a person, you don't have to pay arbod dvarim. That means you only have to pay damage, but you don't have to pay the extra things of tzara ripui sheves. And that's why it's saying Kemishpat hazeh, this din, only this din of nezek, of damage, but not the other extra thing that we know that a person who damages a person needs to pay. Akiva, who learns azeh to tell you that it means dafka the azeh of muad, that he pays nezek sholem when he damages a person. How does he know that the cow that gores a person, you potter from Dalet Dvarim and you only chayev the damage, and you not chayev tzara and ripui and sheves? Nafkelei, he learns that from Mi'ishk itemum ba'misoy. It says in the pasuk, a person who causes a damage in his friend, and we darshan, we learn ish ba'misoy. Dafka, especially when a person causes damage to his friend. The law is shoy ba'misoy, and not when a cow goes and causes damage to a person. But then he's potter from Dalet Dvarim. Rabbanon, so why don't Rabbanon learn from there? Why do they need that there to teach you? The Rabbanon will tell you, if we would learn it just from the pasuk ish iten mumba misoy, hava amina, I might have thought that it's coming to tell you tzar lechudei, that the Torah is excluding to say that in that pasuk is talking about tzar, and Torah says that tzar, there's no damage. Tzar means a pain. There's no mominess, there's no loss of money, it's just pain. So you think, especially tzar lechudei, that when a cow gores a person, then you don't have to pay for the pain. But for the other things, going to the doctors, for sure you have to pay. Aval ripui, going to the doctor, v'sheves, and that he couldn't go to work, that you're causing me a financial loss. Maybe even when a cow damages a person, the owner of the cow needs to pay for the doctors and for the unemployment. Kamash malon, that's why we need a zeh to tell you that, that's why you need a zeh to tell you that everything a cow's potter from when he damages a person is only chayav to pay nezek. And the Rabbi Akiva is going to say no, when it says ish ba'mito, it would be obvious that it's coming to patter all Dalet Dvarim, and he will make this svara of a chilik to say that dafka tzar, not beripui and sheves, yes. Says the Mishnah, shove money, an ox worth 100. Shinoga shove mosayim, that caused that he gored a cow or ox that's worth 200. Ve'ina nevela yefe klum, and the nevela, that the dead cow that's worth 200 now is not worth anything. Klum noiteles asher. So the nizak, the one who got damaged 200, takes from the mazik his shor that's worth 100, because we're talking about over here tam. Tam pays chetzi nezek, migur foi from its body. So therefore this cow is worth 100, killed a cow worth 200, and the cow that's worth 200 is worth 0 now. So the nizak, the one who got damaged, could take the ox from the mazik that's worth 100, and that's a payment of half his cow. Says the Gemara, Masnisi money, who is our Mishnah? Rabbi Akiva here. It's a Rabbi Akiva. Why? The Tanya, we learned in Brisa, Yusha Mashor Bebezdin, when a tam damages a muad, another cow, and he has to pay half the nezek, only migufoi, maximum how much a cow that damaged is worth, not the one that got damaged. So we go to Besdin, and Besdin estimate how much this cow's worth, the one that damaged, and we say that's the maximum he could pay. He's worth £100, he pay £100. Divi Rabbi Shmuel, that's what Rabbi Shmuel holds. Rabbi Akiva oimer uchlat ashur. The cow becomes a nizak. Once Reuven's shur, that's a tam, was mazik Shimon, so Shimon becomes the owner of a Reuven shur. It's not that he has to pay money worth as much as the shur. No, the shur itself becomes the nizaks. What's the machloikes? Rabbi Shmuel sovar. Rabbi Shmuel holds Baal Choivhu, that Reuven, who was mazik Shimon, his shur tam, is like a Baal Choiv. It's like someone who owes someone money. V'zuzi udimasikle, and he only owes him money. How much? The value of maximum of the cow, but it's not that the cow becomes his. Rabbi Akiva sovar, and Rabbi Akiva holds shutfim. They become shutfim. That means when Reuven shur is mazik Shimon, Shimon becomes a shutuf in Reuven's shur in the amount of half the nezek that he got. And the source of the machloikes is in this pasuk, how to learn this pasuk. It says in the pasuk, Mochurus asher achai, v'chotzu es kaspoi, that when a shur tam causes damage to another shur, you sell a live ox, v'chotzu es kaspoi, and he pays him half. Rabbi Shmuel sova. Rabbi Shmuel holds lebeidina kumazer rachmona, that the Torah is telling this in this passage. The Torah is telling Besdin, this is how you should do it. That means you should estimate how much the shur is worth, and that's how much he has to pay. But it doesn't mean that the shur itself goes to the nizak. Rabbi Akiva sova, but Rabbi Akiva holds lenizak u'mazik mazalahu. The Torah rachmona, that the Torah is talking to the mazik, to the one who caused the damage, the nizak, the one who got the damage, that the Torah is telling them, this is how you split it up, half, and therefore they become shutfim. Says the Gemara, my benayu, what's the difference, lemaisa, between these two shittis? Says the Gemara, igdisha nizak, ike benayu. What happens if a cow, Reuven's cow, gored Shimon's cow, and let's say, like the case of the Mishnah, that Reuven's cow is worth 100, and he gored Shimon's cow that's worth 200, and now it's worth nothing, so he has to pay him 100. So now, the Nizak, Shimon, went and said, I'm Makdish, Reuven's cow that damaged my cow. I'm making it Kodesh, I'm giving it to the Beis HaMikdash. So, Lefi Rabbi Shmuel, that it's just a loan, he owes him money. It's not that the cow itself belongs to Shimon. So you can't be Makdish, the cow's not yours. Reuven needs to pay money. The money, once he gets it, can be Makdish, but the cow, you can't be Makdish. But if you're Rabbi Akiva, that Shimon becomes a shutuf in this cow, and in this case, the whole cow of Reuven straightway becomes Shimon. So Shimon, who said it should belong to Beis HaMikdash, it belongs to Beis HaMikdash because it says the Gemara, Boy minei Rav Merav Nachman. Ask Rav Merav Nachman, what's the din? Mochri mazik. If the mazik, Reuven, who caused the damage, sold this cow that caused the damage. Rabbi Shmuel Mao. To Rabbi Shmuel we're asking this question. In the Shittas Rabbi Shmuel, Kev and Omar Rabbi Shmuel, since Rabbi Shmuel said Baal Choiv, who that's only like a loan, that he owns money, V'zuzi udimasikle, and he owes him money, and it's not the cow becomes Shimon, Mocher, therefore Reuven could sell the cow and it's sold. Or Dilma, maybe Kevin the Meshabed Lele Nizak, since this cow, even though they owe him money, but it's Meshubed, there is a shibud on this cow towards Shimon. Lav kol kamine, he doesn't have the right to sell this cow because it's Meshubed to Shimon. Omalei, he told him, you know what the din? Eino mocher. No, you can't sell it. Reuven can't, even if you're Rabbi Shmuel, Reuven can't sell it because of the shibud onto Shimon. If he pays to Shimon the money in cash, then the shibud goes away, he could sell it. But if he didn't pay, settle off his his responsibilities, the shor is Meshuba to Shimon. Frek the Gemara Vatanya, it says in the Brisa, Mocher, that if he sold it, the sale is a good sale. So the Gemara, Choyze v'govei. Yeah, when it said the Brisa that it sold, it means that Reuven sold it to Levi, it sold. But Shimon could go to Levi and say, this cow is Meshuba to me, and therefore, give it to me, and Shimon could take it from Levi, from the buyer. If we say that Shimon, the Nizak, could go to the buyer, Levi, and claim it back, so why did we say it's sold? It's not sold. Shimon could come into Levi and take it. So the Gemara, Leridia, for the work that he's done, Leridia means for plowing the field. That means Reuven's cow gored Shimon. Now this Shimon's cow. Now this cow, Reuven's cow, is Meshuba to Shimon. Now Reuven sold it to Levi, and then Shimon goes to Levi and gets the cow back off him because it's Meshuba to him. But in that time between when Levi bought it and Shimon claimed it, Levi went and used the cow for plowing his field. So we're saying Mocher means that for that time the sale works until Shimon claims it, and therefore if Levi used it in that time, Shimon can't say, hey, you used my cow to plow your field, can you please pay me for that? No, you can't. He doesn't have any taina for that time until Shimon comes and claims it. It really is Levi's. That one means Mocher, it's sold, but there's a shibud on it, and therefore Shimon could take it. But if it wouldn't be sold at all, Shimon could say, oh, you used my cow to plow your field, and therefore I want to get paid for using my cow. Said the Gemara, Shema, no, we can learn from here, Loiva, someone who took a loan and he sold after. So on the 1st of January he took a loan, and on the 2nd of January he sold his metaltalim. Metaltalim means something that's not like a field. Let's say his bike, his watch, his pen. Bezdin goivim lo mehen. Bezdin could, and so Reuven took a loan on 1st of January. On 2nd of January he sold his pen to Levi. And now Shimon on the 3rd of January wants his loan back. So l'chor, if you what we said by us with the cow of the Nizokim, Bezdin goivim lo mehen. Bezdin were going to go to Levi and say, give the pen back to Shimon. And we know that metaltalim, that stuff that are not like a field, something that's not karka, no land, are not meshuba to Baal Choiv. They're not, you can't take it once the loiva, once the borrower sold them, the lender can't come and claim it from the person who sold it to. Says the Gemara, shiny awesome, the command, the asora poitikidomi. It's like he said, apoitiki means that when Reuven borrowed money from Shimon on 1st of January, he said, this pen will be, this is where you're going to take your loan back from. This is where you're going to be, I owe you £10, I took a loan, this is pen's worth £10, this is going to be for your loan. And therefore he was mishabed, especially this pen, and therefore when he sold it to Levi on 2nd of January, on the 3rd of January, when the time of the Choiv comes, Shimon could claim it from Levi. Frek the Gemara, V'omar Rava said, Osav do apoitiki, if someone borrowed money and he said his slave will be where apoitiki, what we just explained, that from here you're going to claim your choiv, umochroi, and then he sold it, and then Reuven sold the slave, Baal choiv, Shimon who's owed money goivim, and he could come to Levi and say, I want this slave back. But if Shora Poitiki, if Reuven said, my cow is where you're going to claim your choiv from, Umochra, and Reuven sold it to Levi, and Baal choiv Shimon, who's owed the money, goivim, you can't claim it from Levi. Even if he did the Poitiki and he said, from here you're going to claim. So, l'chora, we are saying that here he did the Poitiki, but we're saying even a Poitiki doesn't work with metaltalim, it only works with a Eved. Says the Gemara, Eved, my timer, the reason why Eved apoitiki works and a cow doesn't work, Mishum de'isle kola, because everyone here, this slave is meshubad, is obligated to the choiv, and therefore when they buy this Eved, they know what they're going into. But a cow, people don't know that he made the apoitiki, people don't talk about it. But in our case, a high nami by us, by Nizokim, where cow gold, cave in the Nogach, sent this cow as a gold, Kola Islay, everyone know about it, there's a coil, the Tura Nakchana correlate. Everyone call it, oh, this is the Gorian cow, so everyone know, and therefore it's like apoitiki, and in such a case, even though that normally apoitiki doesn't work by metaltalim, only by eved, but in a case where everyone talk about it, in such a case where the cow's a Gora, everyone know about it, and therefore it's like an eved, and the apoitiki works, and it can be claimed from the meshubadim, from the buyers. Tani Rav Tachlifa Bar Marova. Rav Tachlifa from Israel learned Kameder Ravo in front of Ravo. Mochor Yenu Mochor. He said that when Reuben's cow caused damage to Shimon and he sold it, it's not sold. Hikdishoy. If he was Magdish it, Mugdash. If he made the Kodesh, it is Kodesh. So the Gemara wants to understand what we're talking about it. What we're talking about. Mochri man. Who sold it? Did the Mazik sell it or did the Nizak sell it? Ilema Mazik. If you want to say the Mazik, Reuven who caused the damage sold it after he caused the damage. Mochor any Mochor, it's not sold. Money, it must be. Who is this? Rabbi Akiva. The Omar who holds Uchlat Asher. That straight away when the Shor causes damage to Shimon, the Shor becomes Shimon, so therefore Reuven can't sell it. Very good. Okay, but now the second thing we said, V'gdishoy mugdosh, but we said if Reuven made the Kodesh, gave it to Bedek Habayis, gave it to Beis HaMikdosh, it does work. If Reuven did it, the Mazik, Ason Rabbi Shmuel, the Oma Yusham Ashoim Belbezdin, that means that's going Lefi Rabbi Shmuel who holds that Reuven owes money and not the actual ox, and therefore Reuven can magdish it. It doesn't make sense to say two dinim, that one goes Lefi Rabbi Akiva and one goes Lefi Rabbi Shmuel. It makes no sense. Eloi must be Nizak Mochri. It must be when we talk about over here that he sold it or he was magdish it, it's talking about that the Nizak, Shimon, the one who got damaged, sold it. So, Elo Nizak. Mochri and Mochri, the Nizak sold it, it's not sold money, it must be Rabbi Shmuel. It must be Rabbi Shmuel who holds that the obligation is money and the cow is just meshubed, but the cow itself doesn't belong to Shimon. Very good. But it says if Shimon, the Nizak, was makdish it works. Ason Rabbi Akiva, that's the Rabbi Akiva who holds that the cow becomes straight away Shimon's. Again, you're telling me two dinim, one's Rabbi Shmuel, one's Rabbi Akiva, it doesn't make sense. Says the Gemara, lo mazik. We're talking about that the mazik, Reuven, he sold it and he was makdish it. V'divra kol. And it's going bein lefi Rabbi Akiva, bein lefi Rabbi Shmuel. And we're going to explain. Machorei and machoru. So Reuven sold it, it's not sold. So lefi Rabbi Akiva, it's very good because it's straight away Shimon's property. But afilu Rabbi Shmuel, even if Rabbi Shmuel that holds that he only owes him money, he still can't sell it. Why? Even though that it's not straight away Shimon's, but it's meshubed, it's obligated to this choiv, and therefore Reuven can't sell it. And the next thing that we said, that if Reuven was magdish, and Mazik was magdish, it works and it becomes property of Bedek Habayis of Beis HaMikdash. L'chorah fits in very good to Rabbi Shmuel because he holds its only obligation, therefore it's his, he can magdish it. But if you're Rabbi Akiva that becomes Shimon's, how could Reuven be magdish it? I feel Rabbi Akiva, it works even to Rabbi Akiva. Mishum de Ravavo. Because the din of a Ravo who said his din about something else, but you could apply it also over here. The Omar Ravo, the Ravo said, Gzera, Shema Yomru, Hekdesh Yoitze Beloi Pidyon. That if you're going to say really the din is that really, because it belongs to Shimon, Reuven doesn't have any power to give it to Bedek Habayis. But we are choishish, if we're going to give it straight to Shimon and take it away from Bedek Habayis, even though that Reuven said the Kodesh, people are going to see, and they don't know this thing that when a cow causes another cow, becomes straight away Shimon, and therefore Reuven was magdish something that's not his. They think Reuven's still the owner until Bezdin take it away from him. And Reuven made the Kodesh. How are we taking away from Bedek Habayis without no pitin, without giving money to Bedek Habayis? People are going to say, oh, you can be magdish down to bedek habayis and then take it straight back, and it's going to cause confusion. Therefore, we say you have to give bedek habayis something small, just that people should realize a hekdesh, once you magdish something, you can't come out of hekdesh without giving any money. So it's a gzeira. Me'eka din enochinam yet Shimon and Reuven has no rights on it, Lefi Rabbi Akiva. But because we're choishesh that people are going to have a mistake in other cases, therefore we do it. We say it becomes Kodesh. Ton Rabbanon learned Shor shehizik at shelo yomad bedin. So Ton Rabbanon learned Shor tam shehizik. An ox that's a tam that pays chetzin ezek that caused damage. At shelo yomad bedin. Before we went to Bezdin, Reuven damaged Shimon, and before Shimon took him to Bezdin, mochru, if Reuven sold it, he'd sold. Igdishoy mugdash. If Reuven was makdish, it becomes kodesh. Shochtoi, if he sold it, if he shechted it, if he killed it to eat it. Venosim matono, he gave out the present. Masha osa osui. It works. All these things work, and we're going to see in a second, we're going to explain each case why. Mishamad Badin, if already Shimon took Reuven to Bezdin, and Bezdin said you owe it to Shimon, Machroi, if Reuven sold it, Eile Machroi, it's not sold. Makes sense. Ekdisho, if Reuven was Makdish, Eile Mugdish, doesn't become Kodesh. Shachto, if he shecht it, Venosim Matono, he gave it, the Matono lo Yosef lo Klum. He doesn't. The matana doesn't work and the shechita doesn't work. We're going to see what that means. If Reuven is, in this case, Reuven caused damage to Shimon, and Reuven owes Levi money, nothing to do with this, for loans. So Kodmu Balechoiva is Levi and Yoda, whoever people who Reuven owes money, Vigbiu, and they took this cow from Reuven as payment for their loan. Bein Chav, doesn't matter if the loan to Levi was before Ad Sheloi Hizik, even though that the loan to Levi was a lot before the this ox gored Shimon's ox. Bein Hizik, doesn't matter if first Reuven's ox gored Shimon's ox, and then Levi comes and gives a loan to Reuven, and now he wants his money. Bein Hizik actually chov that he did the hezek to Shimon before the loan to Levi. Lo yasu v'lo klum. Levi taking this cow or this ox as a payment for the loan, they did nothing. Why? Lefi she'en mishtalem ele megufoi. Because it's a tam, and a tam doesn't pay only from his body, and therefore it's meshubed to Shimon. More chezik. If this cow of Reuven was Mazik Shimon and he's a Moor that pays from his own pocket, from the Reuven's pocket, we don't care how much it's worth, and he pays Mazik Sholem, Bein Shomad Bedin, doesn't matter, Bein Shelo Yomad Bedin, doesn't matter if Shimon took Reuven to Bezdin or he didn't take Bezdin to Bezdin, Machroi, Reuven could sell it. Very simple, because it's Reuven, it's not Meshubed, this actual cow, he has to pay from his own pocket. Vigdisho, if Reuven made the kodesh to bedek habayis mugdash, it works. Shochte shechtet, v'nosu matona, he gave it as a present. Masha osa osui, wherever it works. Kodmu balechoivois, if Levi, who was owed money by Reuven because of a loan, they gbiu, and they took this cow as a payment for the choiv. Bein chav, doesn't matter if the choiv was before Ad Sheloi Hizik, happened before the cow goring. Bein Hizik Ad Sheloi Chav, doesn't matter if first he gored and then the loan happened. Masha also, they could take this cow as payment. Why? Lefi she'en mishtalem ela me'aliyah, because the payment of Reuven that is chayav to Shimon for this damage is from his own pocket. It's not depending on this actual cow. Okay, this is the brisa. Now we're going to go into details and understand what's going on over here. Omar Mara, we learned that in a case where it's a tam and he didn't go to Bezdin yet, so it's sold. That means Leradia doesn't mean forever because it's Meshubah to Shimon. It's sold for meanwhile for plowing the field, but afterwards Shimon could go to Levi, who bought the cow, and say, I want my cow, it's meshubah to me, it's a camp. Ikdish and Mugdosh, when he said it's Kodosh, it doesn't mean it's Mamish Kodosh. Mishum Ravo, only like Ravo that we say that you have to give something to Hegdish to take it out. But really it's not proper Hegdish, it's just we don't want to mix up with other cases. Shochtoi, if he shechted it or he gave it Venosim Matona, Masha also it works. Said the Gemara, Bishlei Venosim Matona, very good, where he gave out the present, that works. Masha also he works in the radio. That means like person Levi who got as a present could use it for plowing this field, and then when Shimon claims it off him later on, Levi doesn't have to pay back Shimon because it works. The matana works until Shimon claims it back off him because it's meshubah to Shimon. Elo shochtoi, in the case where he shechted it, he killed it. Why do we say Masha also Leisi velishtali mipsorei? L'choro, Shimon should come and say, this ox is meshubah to me, it caused damage to me, I want the meat, now there's meat over here, I want to have this meat and make a barbecue, it's meshubah to me. The Tanya we learned in the Brayso Chai, it says in the Pasuk about a cow that causes damage to another cow, it says Chai, Mochus Asher Chai, and you sell the live cow. Enli Elochai, it's mashma only if the cow that gored is still alive. Shochtem inayin, how do I know if the mazik shechted his cow and now it's dead, that it's still meshubah to Shimon? Talmud loima, mochur is ashur. It said in the same pasuk, mochur is ashur. They sell the shur, it doesn't say over there chai. Mikol makom, any situation where the cow is, and even if it's dead, it's meshubah. So why are you saying over here that if you shechted it, masha also, it's mashma, that your potter, it's not meshubah anymore? Said the Gemara, Amar Shizbi, lo nitzricha ela lebchas shchita. When we said Masha also, it doesn't mean that the cow now belongs to Reuven, now they shechted Reuven, the mazik shechted it, and now belongs to Reuven to use as a barbecue for the meat, with the meat. No, for sure Shimon could take this meat, like we learned in the Brayso, even though it's dead, it's meshubah to Shimon. And Masha also means that a live cow is worth £100, and let's say the nizak, the damage was £200, he has to pay £100, but now he shechted the cow and the meat's worth only £50. So that £50, we don't say Reuven has to pay from his own pocket. No, it's the tam is only mechuyev megufoy, and now the body's worth only 50. So that's how much Shimon could claim. Omar Rav Huna, brother of Yeshua, says Rav Huna, the son of Yeshua, those Samaritans who could learn from here, amazik shirbuda shel chaveroi potter. If something's obligated meshubah to your friend, and I caused the damage, and now the person comes and takes his shibud, he takes this field, let's say Reuven owes money to Levi, and Shimon went and damages field that belongs to Reuven now, and now Levi comes and takes the shibud that he's owed, and the field's worth less now. Levi can't come to Shimon and say, oh, you damaged my field, because it wasn't Levi's field, it was only meshubah to him when he caused the damage. So also by us, this guy had a cow that's meshubah to Shimon and it's worth £100. He shechted it, now it's worth £50. He caused damage of £50. And you potter, why? Because it's only the shibud, it's only meshubah to Shimon, and therefore he's potter. Said the Gemara Pshita, it's poshut, why do you need to tell me Zoy Samaras, you could see from here clear that it's Ainuach, it's the same. You need to tell me Zoy Samaras means, oh, I could see from here that this and this and this. But here, this is good for what it says in what we just learned, that he caused damage to the shibud of Shimon in £50 and it's potter. Why do you need to say Zoy Someres as if you're telling me a big chiddush? So the Gemara, you might have thought Hossam in the case of by us where he shechted the cow and he put the cow from the value of 100 to 50. Who the Omalei loy chasart veloy midi? The Omalei viki be'almu de shakli minoch. That means Reuven, the mazik who shechted the cow, he said, I didn't cause any damage. All I did, what's the difference between a live cow and a dead cow? Is only wind. Can you see the difference? Does it weigh any different? It's just the wind. And therefore, I'm not chayev on the damage I caused you from putting down the value in £50. Avol be'alma, in a normal case, in a case where where he damaged the person's field, actually that's meshuba to someone else, and he actually digged holes over there, lechayev, maybe over there you'll be chayev, where you caused a damage, a physical damage to the shirbud of your friend. Kumash malon. That's the chiddush, so we say no, don't say this different, and we could learn from here that someone damages physically someone's field that's meshuba to someone else, he's still potter. Frag the Gemara, asked the Gemara a question. Ho nami Rabba Omra. Also this Rabba said, the Omar Rabba says Rabba, someone who people owe him money, and he has contract, he has papers showing documents showing that this person owes him money, and another guy goes and burns these documents. So now he can't go to Beis Din and claim it from them because he doesn't have any more proof. But the papers, a value of a paper is only 10 pence. The loan is £100, so now he can't claim the whole loan. So maybe very good he has to pay him the 10 pence. But he's potter for the £100 even though they caused him damage. So we could see that someone who caused damage to someone's shirbud, I mean, this paper has value in it that you could claim £100, but the actual paper has only 10 pence. We say you're potter from the £100. So we know this din already, that someone who causes damage to someone's shirbud, you're potter. So the Gemara Mao, the Tema over there, the Osam, who the Omalei, the person who burned these documents, he could say, Naira ba'alma kaloi minoch, I damaged you some papers, you want me to pay you 10 pence worth of paper, A4 paper? No problem, I'll give you 10 A4 papers. Therefore I'm potter that on the damage I caused, that he can't claim the loan. Aval, in a case, Eicha, when the chofra that he dug, boboros, pits, sichin, umaoros, he dug in the field caves and caused lots of damage to the field, literally damage, lechayev. Then you're going to say, listen, this karka, this field was meshuba to me, you dug in it, you made it less in value, I want you to pay me now. Kumash malon. That's a chiddush that we learn from over here, the ha'acha, by us, command the chofa boboros, sichin, umaoros, when he killed this cow, it's like he did a physical change in the behemoth, he shechted it, it's like he dug pits and caves, etc. And we said that he's potter. So also when a person digs pits, he's also potter, even though they caused me damage, and later on when I claim this field, my field's worthless. Okay, we're going back to what we learned before. We learned if the Baal Choivos, the people, Reuven caused damage to Shimon, with Reuven sure caused damage to Shimon. And Reuven owes Levi money, and Levi took this cow as a payment for his choiv. We said, and they took this cow. We don't care if the hezek happened, if the choiv to Levi happened before the hezek to Shimon happened. Ben Hizik, doesn't matter if the hezek to Shimon happened actually before the loan to Levi. Levi can't take this cow as a choiv, as a payment for his loan. Because this cow is meshurba to Shimon. Says the Gemara, Bishlema Izik actually chov. Very good in the case where first the cow caused damage to Shimon and then Levi gave a loan to Reuven, so the shibud is first on Shimon, so we can understand Nizok and Kodmu, the choiv, the obligation, the payment of the damage to Shimon was first. Aval Chavad Shelo Yizik, if Levi first gave a loan to Reuven, and only afterwards Reuven's cow called Shimon, Bal Choiv Kodim, so the loan happened first. So l'chora he should able to take this cow, it's meshubah to him first. Va'afilu izikat shelo yichov. And even in a case where he caused damage first to Shimon's cow before the loan to Levi, Bal Choiv Kodim. Baal Choiv, Kodem means over here, the Levi caught it first. Even though that his obligation to him is later, but he caught it first. Shema Mino, let's learn from here, Baal Choiv Me'ocha, in a case where Reuven owes money, not talking about no goring, no nizokim, he owes Shimon money, and he owes Levi money, and he gave the first loan came from Reuven, later date he got a loan from Levi. So Levi is called Baal Choiv Me'ocha, the later lender. So Baal Choiv Me'ocha, later lender, Levi, Shekodam V'Gova, where he claimed, and he took from Reuven, let's say a field, Masha Gova Loi Gova, Shimon could come and say, no, I was here first, give it to me back. And we know there's a machloikas about it. And here we could see clearly that, no, the one who's later has to give it back to the one who's earlier. Says the Gemara, Loi. No. Loi lo mei melecho Masha Gova Gova. In a normal case where Reuven owes money to Shimon and to Levi, and to Shimon the loan was earlier, and Levi was later, and Levi claimed from himself, he grabbed something from Reuven, he could keep what he grabbed even though he's later than Shimon. V'shayni hosom, do'omar lei, ilu gabocha v'loi minoch have gobile, de'itura de'askol minei mishtalamno. We're saying over here it's very different. Over here, when it's not talking about a loan, we're talking about nezek, we're talking about damage. When a cow gores another cow, this cow itself, wherever it is, this cow is meshubed to the nizak, to the one who got damaged. And therefore, the nizak would tell the Baal Choiv, even if you take this cow much earlier, if this cow damaged my cow, this cow itself is meshubed to me. And therefore, I could claim this cow. If you grabbed it first, I take it from you, because if it would be by you and it would damage me, this cow would be chayv to me. Therefore, this cow gets paid to me. But we can't bring a raya from over here, where we're talking about someone who got damaged, to a Baal Choiv, to a loan, to a case of two loans. Thank you very much.